Hi, Fashion Dolls. It is Thankful Thursday, January 11th, and welcome to an all new episode of Style by Stevie. Our very special guest today is a filmmaker all the way from Harlem, New York, and I'm super excited to have him here in the dollhouse for his primetime exclusive interview with yours truly. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's do the pleasure of welcoming our very special guest, Ish Brown. Do, 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 do. And I hope you guys all are doing awesome as I am today. I feel awesome, and I hope you guys are doing awesome and amazing as well too. I know today's look is a very risque look. I wanted to do something a little bit different than what I've been doing for the past few years back in 2023. So fashions are going to change, the looks are going to change and evolve and go along with the time. So I'm very, very thankful for my amazing team here helping me get ready. So without further ado, let's welcome our very special guest, Ish Brown. Hello, handsome. How are you?
Hey, how are
How are
you?
you doing? I'm doing wonderful. It is such a pleasure to have you here.
Yes, yes, I'm doing wonderful too. I'm doing wonderful too, doing good.
So before we kick off this interview,
Yeah.
how has your holidays been? How did you celebrate your Christmas? How did you celebrate Thanksgiving? How did you ring in the new year? All of that good stuff before we get into you and your introduction and everything.
Well, my holiday was pretty good. I was out here. I recently moved to LA to further my film career out here. So I've been out here since December 16th. I started working already and stuff. Got into my place. So that was a blessing for the holidays. And then it was different this year because my last holiday that I spent with my family was Thanksgiving. So to be out here during, Christmas and New Year's without my family for the first time, it was different. It was a little emotional, but I got through it through the grace of God, and now everything is moving up for me here.
Yes. So 2024, we are now officially in 2024. How did you celebrate and ring in the new year?
Well, for 2024, I brought it in with a couple of friends. Nothing too big, nothing too crazy. I was just thankful of just being alive and just being here and being able to celebrate the new year. Honestly, and how was
Absolutely. So
yours?
how was my New Year's?
Yeah.
I stayed in. It was pretty cold. It was cold, so I stayed in. And a lot of people texted me Happy New Year's. I woke up and it was 12 o'clock and everybody was still out there celebrating Happy New Year. So I got all the text messages rolling in. So I stayed in most of the time.
Right.
But I'm thankful to be here in this year 24K.
Yeah. Yeah. And how was your Thanksgiving and Christmas?
Amazing. Well, my brother came down for a little bit to visit. They went to Florida to spend time with the family, with his girlfriend's family, and introduced my nephew. So babysitting most of the time, spending time with family. So cooking. We had a great time overall. Yes.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Love to hear that.
Yes. Speaking of family, let's get into your journey. Now, you hail from Harlem, New York. You're a filmmaker from Harlem, New York, and I have family there. So I'm pretty sure you've heard of Brownsville and Syracuse.
Yeah, I'm familiar with all of that. I'm familiar with all of that. I reside mostly like in Manhattan and stuff, but I have family like all over New York.
Okay, okay. And you're the oldest of eight kids. How many
Yes.
brothers? How many sisters?
I have one sister and seven brothers. So well, six brothers. I mean, including myself, is seven. But it's seven boys and one girl.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, what is it like having all of these brothers and growing up for you?
Um, Growing up for me, having all these siblings, like especially like brothers, it was uh interesting. I can definitely say there was difficult times because I am the oldest, and then not only that I am the oldest, I am Jamaican, and then I'm also gay. So to be black, West Indian, and gay, and the oldest of so many younger brothers, it was a little struggle because I had to I felt like I had to keep that masculine image for them as well. Being the only gay sibling, well, the only male gay sibling, my little sister, she's the only girl, but she's also gay as well. And like I said, it was just like it was a little difficult, because I had to keep that masculine representation and stuff
Yeah.
until I turned. I was like, I say 12, going on 13,
Wow.
and that's when I came out to my mom and I told her, my truth. And from there, it made it more easier because that's when I learned that my mother was also in the life as well. She was around the ballroom community. She grew up around the ballroom community and stuff. So like, without my mom and my grandmother, I probably would have been like lost in wanting to find myself in being, young, black, and gay. You know what I'm saying? So like with my parents, which I call my grandmother my parent as well.
Oh,
And even with my father accepted me with open arms and stuff as well. Like he loves everything about my community and he loves to support my community. So I'm very thankful to have such supportive parents and siblings as well. So yeah.
now I'm gonna go back for a second because you said growing up black, gay, and Jamaican, and that's in Jamaican culture. We know that there's homophobia. There are so many things to be conquered.
Yeah.
We're seeing people become more open-minded overseas,
Mhm.
but there are still policies that are put into place that can harm us as LGBT people. So we're seeing a shift, and that's amazing that your family is supporting you. Because, like you said, growing up, I kind of got scared when you said, "Okay, black, gay, Jamaican," and I already know how but that's
Yeah.
awesome. Now, fast forward into your career, Gene, because you have your brand, and we'll get into that. But you
Yeah.
started off on Broadway. You started off doing your first Broadway play, The Orange Flat. So tell us about that. What was that experience? And at what age did you say, okay, this is something that I want to do? What age did you develop that acting bug?
Well, I started acting at the age of 8. My mom always thinks that I was creative and talented and into the arts. So, I don't know if anybody is watching from New York remember the program Boys Harbor on 106 and Madison Avenue. Danny Glover did an acting program in there, and I was one of the selected few to get picked in it at 8 years old, and that's how I got to do my first off-Broadway play in Big Arm Squad. I played like 3 characters in that play, and then from there I started doing like little small plays, and then I went to audition for The Lion King, but because I can't sing, you got to pass all 3. But because I can't sing, I didn't get it, so that kind of discouraged me a little bit. So I started to get into dancing, and I started to take classes, and I attended Alvin Ailey Dance Camp from 11 to 15, and I did classes from 11 to 16 at the actual theater. So with that, transitioning into going into high school, I graduated from Repertory Company High School for theater arts, majoring in dance and acting. And from there, like everything for me was always about being creative
Yeah.
and showcasing myself in different ways, whether it was drawing, acting, um, dancing. I always did everything that was highlighted around being a creator.
Now, you began dancing and training also at Alvin Ailey. What
Yes.
was that experience like?
Um, that experience, it was two. I had like two different experiences with that because around that time I was a little bit more heavy. So, me being black, gay, heavy set, um, at that time, with the baby weight and stuff, it was a little troubling because you had some petite dancers that criticize on the side and stuff like that. So
Mm.
that was a little difficult for me to deal with, but I had to have tough skin at that time because the way how I was brought up and also the community that I lived in. Also, I had to learn how to have that tough skin wherever I go, and from there, when I started taking the actual classes at the actual theater, there's petite white dancers. I was like the only two. It was me and another black boy that was dancers in that class. So it was a little troubling because they was giving side eyes and stuff like that. But I didn't let that stop me from continuing on with my dance career and taking my classes. I was more comfortable during the camp times because during camp it was for the whole summer, and it was on Saturdays during the winter time. So it was more. comfortable with that because I was around other black dancers, you know. So that was more comfortable. I, started to, film myself and stuff, dancing more and more. I started to lose the baby fat and stuff, the baby weight, and I started feeling myself even more. Like, all right, now I feel like, I feel like me, like how I want to be. And yeah, overall, I had an amazing experience overall with dancing and taking training with them. If I didn't get to train with them, I don't know where I would be as far as like a dancer choreographer because that actually set me up to be able to perform and open up for different celebrities like Rick Ross and Jay Z, Rihanna, Wale. I got to perform at South by Southwest. I was featured on Love and Hip Hop Dancer behind the rap group BBOG during season 6 of Love and Hip Hop New York. So like me being a dancer, I really got to showcase myself in different elements and in different roles. And I also was a part of a underground dance crew called the New Breed, and with them we got to open up for different people like Jennifer Hudson and doing World AIDS Day performances and stuff like that. So I appreciate the tribes and tribulations that I had to go through, during training because the outcome of it, just like with my filming, the outcome of it became a beautiful picture.
And fast forward, after training at Alvin Ailey, a lot of people don't know this about you, but you've done a lot of work on, let's go down the list, shall we? You've done Law and Order SVU,
Yeah.
season 2022. You
Uh-huh.
did Pole seasons 2 and 3.
Yes.
You've also did For Life season 1. You did Power, Raising Kanan. My girl, Ro Underwood, was also on the show as well too.
Oh, I
Super
love that.
duper.
Yes.
Yes, she was on here. And you also did Fire Island on Hulu.
Yes.
So you've had a list of hit shows,
Yes.
and I could go on and on. We'd be here all day that you've been on.
Yes.
Out of all of the catalog of work that I just named, because there's so many, which one holds a very special place to you? And if you could take something, is what was the best piece of advice that someone has given you on set?
Oh, that's a good question. I would have to definitely say Pose was the most influential, the most
Oh yeah,
breathtaking, the most like memorable show that I got to be on because growing up, like I said, my mom was in the room and she hung around. She grew up around the LeBages and the Ebony. So for me to be a fan of Paris is Burning and then to be around that type of setting and to learn even more about what was going on back in the days, even though like all of this is scripted, they used a lot of true actual facts in the show. And to be around other black LGBTQ members and family
yeah.
members and friends and allies, it was just like beautiful. It was really, really beautiful being on that set and to connect with different people and just like how I'm sitting right outside my job, like we used to sit right outside the studio on breaks and laugh and key and stuff like that, and just having that type of connection with the community was really, really beautiful. And I remember there was this stylist that worked in wardrobe. His name is Daryl, and he told me that he said that I'm a star, and he could feel my energy. And from there, I got reference to 50 Cent for Life. Shout out to you, Dad. I don't know if you watch it or not, but he referenced me to that show because of my look and just my personality and just me being just a warm, open-hearted person. That got me to there where I got to play an inmate throughout the whole season. I literally got to meet 50 Cent face to face and talk to him. And I swear, once I spoke to him, I got an email like 2 days later, and I got um, featured on Power Raising Canaan. So like being humble and being positive and just genuinely having a warm heart and just wanting to see everybody win really helps you win. And it helps build you and connect you to different people and put you in these rooms that you never even knew or guessed that you would even be sitting in. And I'm thankful highly for that.
You talk about winning. So my next question for you ties into winning.
Mm.
What previous dream do you see the most meaning in? It could be a dream of your life, of your thought, of your career to be at
Mm.
this point in your career, because we're going to talk about your production company as well too. But what dream do you see the most meaning?
My dream, honestly, even though I had my own production company. I'm looking to expand it. I want it to grow big, just like how Hood Ray is with Issa Rae. She's one of my influences. Just like Tyler Perry Studios, he's another one of my influences. I want to be the next one like them. I want to be able to have a space that can be open for not only black actors and actresses, but also black queer actors and actresses, where they can feel comfortable and have these lead roles. You know what I'm saying? Um, People would be very, very amazed at how many actors that are gay can actually portray a straight man better than a straight man. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with a transgender woman. You would never know, and they portray it so well that it's like, why not give them that shot? And that's what my production company is about, is having that platform for those type of artists. I call all my actors and actresses that join on to any project that I do artists, because everything that you do is an art. You know what I'm saying? If you cry, that's art. If you scream, that's art. If you dramatic, that's art. You know, so you're an artist. Everything that you do paints a beautiful, beautiful picture. So my dream is to really establish that my productions network, my production company, establish my streaming network that will soon be out with my business partner Rob. Season he joined on. I don't know if he's still watching, but that's my business partner. We coming up with this streaming network that's going to highlight all walks of life. You know what I'm saying, and put a platform for Black people where we can be seen as Black excellence,
Yes,
you know, and not seen in the way that white corporate society, as far as film and production, portray us to be. You know, or even like writers portray us to be. A lot of the stuff that I write is very Black, unapologetically, just being unapologetically Black, honestly. You know, like if people are fans of like shows like Living Single, Girlfriends, you know, In the
yes,
House, Martin, even though it's art, a lot of my shows and productions circle around that, where you can still feel like you and also see you in what I push out.
absolutely. Now, you talk about your production. Let's get right into it. Your production company, Ish Productions LLC, and you've also created your first project,
Yeah,
Click, which
yeah.
is out here right now. So tell us, what was the creative process for you creating this project, Click?
Um, with Create and Click, the process with that was, okay. So I'm gonna be honest. So I was home and I was watching Tyler Perry Sisters, and I was watching the first season. And I watched like the first two episodes, and I personally loved the character Sabrina, but I felt like, you know, they was like making her whiny, a little like crybaby-ish and stuff like that. And I love the highlights of how they portrayed these Black women in strong careers.
Yeah,
Yes, they love life may be up and down, but they was highlighted as strong Black independent women. And I wanted to create a show that's like that, but a mixture of my Black men, my Black gay men, my trans women, my
yeah,
trans men, my Black lesbians, you know, my Black bisexual men, because they are out here as well, and they need to be highlighted as well, because they don't talk a lot about them either. You know what I'm saying? So with my show, I wanted to highlight all of those aspects of life, especially coming from New York City. New York City, when you think of the gay lifestyle in New York City, is very bright, it's very open, it's very loud, you know, but it's also secretive and suspenseful and tasteful. So I wanted to take all of those elements and create a world where people can feel comfortable watching and also feel partnered to the show and fall in love with the show, where they can literally see. I know somebody that's like that. Oh, my homegirl is like that. Oh, my sister is like. Oh, my brother is definitely. This is definitely my. I want people to resonate to my show like that. So that's why I created the show, so that it could be something that's relatable. You know, especially coming from New York City. New York City right now, they waiting for the full first episode to drop, because just showing the snippets of the show, everybody already like be telling me in my DMs, telling me like it's so real, and that's what they want to see, something that is really real and relatable. But it could be like, yes, I've been in a situation like this on my homegirl, my brother, and that's what I want. So this show, it means a lot to me. If anybody's gonna be out here in LA around February 22nd, Glad is doing a festival for us to showcase our
I
project
see
February 22nd.
that.
Yeah, so I definitely will send you the invite as well. Yes,
Congratulations.
Stevie, thank you so much. And even with this project and starting my production company, I started it, I say it was 2020, 2021 came around. I was talking to different people and it was going good. But then when 2022 hit, I connected with one of the leads of Glad's Black and Brown collective department. His name is Deshaun Usher. I connected with him, talked to him, spoke to him. He's like a mentor. He's like one of my mentors, and he put me into GLAD's inaugural Equity in Media and Entertainment Initiative program for Black queer filmmakers. And even though I was the only one, how you doing, the only new face there, I felt comfortable, and everybody there made me feel comfortable as well. They didn't make me feel like, oh, I'm new, I don't know anything, and they're even interested in my project as well. So I thank Deshaun and Julian, Kayla, Zuli. I thank the whole team from Glad because without them, I wouldn't have that push as a creative and really know that people are out there looking for me and they're interested in my work. So I definitely give a big shout out to Glad for putting me in their first annual Equity and Media Entertainment Initiative program.
Now, you talk about breaking barriers. What makes you the most disturbed about the state of society? And if you had the resources, how would you fix?
If I had the resources, I would fix a lot of things. One of the main things I would definitely fix is homeless youth in the LGBTQ community. That's
As
something that's something that's very special and very touching to me because when I came out at 12 years old, going to 13 to my mom, I had a lot of friends who came out to their parents as well, and their parents kicked them out. And my mother was the first person. My mom and my grandma was the first two people to accept my friends into my home and have them stay with me, giving them a roof over their head, filling their bellies up with warm meals and stuff like that, and loving on them like they are their kids. So like when it comes to being homeless, LGBTQ youth, even for adults that is LGBTQ and they're homeless, like that's one thing that I would definitely do with my resources. Yes, my sound went out a little bit. You can hear me?
yes,
Yes.
you must
Okay.
have got a call.
Yes, I did. Yes. But yeah, when it comes to the homeless LGBTQ youth, that's something that is very passionate to me. Once I definitely get to that stature and I get those resources, I will be doing a lot when it comes to that. As far as like trying to like get people to connections with building complexes, for them, putting them in work programs and putting them in school programs so that they can get their education and work at the same time, especially when it comes to the LGBTQ youth in Jamaica. I want to do stuff out there as well, being that that's my home country. I want to build certain homes for them because it's hard out there, and try to give them some type of services where they can, get back on their health and get back on their feet and do things that they always dreamed about doing.
Now, I'm gonna go to that because I'm glad that you touched on it. I was just reading this report, and I'm glad that you touched on that. It talks about homelessness and housing instability among LGBTQ youth, and this comes from the Trevor Project. 28% of LGBTQ youth reported experiencing homelessness and housing instability at some point in their lives. Now, LGBT people within our community, the Black community, they're being disowned and put out because their families are
Hmm.
disowning them for being gay or just living their truth. And that is a sad thing to see. So I'm so glad that you touched on that. That is something that
Yeah.
needs to be within the world as well too in society. Homophobia, transphobia in general,
Hmm.
it needs to be.
Hmm. Yeah, and it's crazy that parents um can conceive a child and give birth to a child, but then once they do something that they don't agree with, they just throw them away.
Yeah.
That's very hard to accept and take, and that's why my mom, she was always quick to be like, "Oh, your friend got put out." Where they at? Tell them to come over here. I'm cooking tonight. And even with me having so many siblings, it still was enough to go around. We still made space. We still made room, and that's why still to this day, anybody that know my mom, everybody call my mom mother because she was mother to everyone. Anybody in New York City that knows her, whether if it's the mainstream ballroom scene or the PPC, everybody know my mom, and they know her just because of the fact that she would give. We all from my family would give off our back to give to someone else that is less fortunate. Especially if they LGBTQ.
Yes. And we see that because you talk about the ballroom culture. Shows like Pose highlighted that. The
Yes.
ballroom culture highlights that because there are so many LGBT people out here who do not have family because their family has put them out. So
Mm-hmm.
they go into the ballroom scene, and the ballroom is like what I love about it, it is like a family.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is close. So that's amazing to me that even though we don't have family and it's sad to see other people get put out by their families, you can go and create your own of people who
Definitely.
will love, accept, and appreciate you. Which
Definitely.
brings me to the next question for you. What would you regret not doing in your life? At one point in your life, if you could do anything, what would you regret not doing?
Um, I don't really like to say that I regret anything because every moment that I have or experience that I have is a
Mm,
learning experience.
yeah.
So I don't necessarily want to say, I regret anything. But if I could do anything earlier, I would definitely have started like filming things myself because like once I got into the GLAD program, I bought my own equipment and stuff like that. So I film a lot of the stuff myself and I self-taught myself. But if I could do anything different, I would definitely like had started this a little bit earlier, but like I said, everything happens for a reason. At that time, I wasn't ready. You know what I'm saying? So I had to learn that I wasn't ready then, but I'm ready now. So I don't really, like I said, I don't really want to say I regret it, but if I could have did anything earlier, that's something I would have did.
How can a single moment in your life have the power to change everything?
A single moment in my life that, that can have power to change, I would definitely. It's just like you can hear me. Um,
Yes.
it's just like when I got into this film program. This film program really changed a lot. And once that first day, once the first day of them promoting us and we was featured on Hollywood Reporter, everything changed for me. That one day, literally that one day, people started reaching out. I started doing more and more interviews. My casting started going out the roof. Like I would post a casting for my show on Backstage, and literally the first week that I posted, I had over 36 submissions. So like one day can really change. That's why I cherish every moment and every day of my life because anything can change at any time. And for me, staying true to praying and staying true to God and stuff like that, and keeping that faith, you know, it really changed a lot. Like I'm through the grace of God, I'm here right now. Here in LA and being able to connect even more with people. I came to LA 2 times last year because of GLAD. In July, they flew us out here for a dinner, and I sat at the table with different black creators that was Grammy nominated, Oscar nominated, Emmy nominated, Peace Prize winners, NAACP winners, and they all was black and queer. So for me to sit at that table, and I'm a new face, that showed me that this is where I'm going to be at. And then in September, Glad threw a big Black Queer Creative Summit for 5 days, and that opened up my eyes even more. And the connections that I made there, that's why I'm out here and I'm relocated to LA now. So one moment and one day can literally change your life, and I am like a walking testimony of that.
What superpower would you choose if you were given the ability to develop your superpower?
One superpower I would love to have. Well, it's like two. I would love to fly. Of course, everybody would love to fly. But um, one superpower I definitely would love to have is healing. And the reason why is because I feel like people, whether if it's emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, spiritually, everybody deserves healing. So if I can have healing, I would use that power to heal whatever problems that's going on in the world because that's what we really need right now. Is just healing and support. So I would love to have the power of healing. It touches you more. It's more personable when you have that type of power. It's nothing for me to gain. It's more so for me to support you and help you. You know what I'm saying? So healing would definitely be one of my favorite superpowers to
Absolutely. And we need it more than ever with
have.
everything that is going on in this world. So, how
Yeah.
do you stay so focused? How do you stay so zen with everything that's going on, all these policies, all of these headlines everywhere?
Um,
How do you stay focused?
my family, God,
Mm-hmm.
and being a creator. Like writing. Writing keeps me zen. You know, um, Filming keeps me zen. Even if I'm in the house and I'm acting out a scene to myself acting, like it keeps me zen. Talking to my family keeps me zen. My mom is my best friend. People's calling me, people keep calling me. But like being with them and talking to them keeps me sane and it keeps me zen. So and then praying to God that keeps me zen. I'm on a 9-day fasting right now. To keep my sanity and keep my zen going. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like I was getting a little off. So I was like, let me just detox my body fully, get my waters and stuff like that. Take my vitamins. Don't eat this. Don't eat that. And just stay heavily like praying and praying because a lot of people don't understand that prayer really gets you through a lot of things. Like prayer really gets you through a lot. And if you just pray and talk to him, he'll listen. It may not come when you want it, but it's gonna come.
All
And I had to
the
learn
time.
and I had to really learn that. I stressed a lot when I first started doing this project with wanting to have things coming like this, like this, like this. But then when I sat down and I had to really think and say to myself that things take time, and he's listening, but my ticket just ain't get pulled yet. You know what I'm saying? So I had to keep that in mind, and now it's just like I said, everything is just falling into place and it's just aligning the way how I wanted to align many, many years ago. I was supposed to be out here in LA literally like 5 years ago, but something always stopped me from coming out here. So that's why I know that this is aligning the way how it should be this time around. Happy birthday, Rizzy.
Happy birthday, Rizzy. Yes, welcome, my love. Now, and you tied into my next question I was going to ask you. What are you holding on to that's holding you back? If you could name one thing that is holding you back, what is it?
um, Perfection. Because I'm a Virgo and we like to be perfectionists. And I had to learn that not everything's gonna be perfect,
Yeah.
but it's going to be the way how I want it to be. If that makes sense, like I want it to be perfect, but it's gonna be good enough where it's almost perfect, but not just exact. Because like I said, everything is not perfect. It has to be certain things that's in between it that makes it a little difficult. But if it's perfect enough for me, that's where I feel like I would exceed at. So right now, that's one thing that always like have me on the hassle is trying to be perfect, and trying to have everything a certain way. But I have to realize that some things is not in your hands. If an actor can't perform and they have to drop out, that's not in my hands. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta step forward and replace and find a replacement. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. If I have the studio cancels out. All right, that wasn't gonna be perfect, but let's figure out a different
Yeah.
plan and let's move forward from there. So I'm still learning how to adjust when I don't feel like things is going perfect.
Rizzy says that's something that I also struggle with wanting everything perfect. And I think that's for a lot of us creators,
Hmm.
content creators, directors, producers out here. We want things to be perfect. And even
Hmm.
some of the greats, Beyonce,
Yeah.
uh, Michael Jackson, all of them, they wanted things to be perfect.
Hmm.
And that's the end result. Things mess up, then you're going to have failures. You're going to have flubs, but the key trick is to keep going
Yeah.
100%.
Yes, yeah, yeah, and it's so crazy you named two Virgos too. So that goes to show you too. The two Virgos that was perfectionists, and even if anybody went to go see the Renaissance movie, Beyonce broke it down like like things
Oh,
can
yeah.
be stressful, and she be wanting everything perfect, and sometimes certain things just changes at the last minute. But you see what she did, she adjusted, switched her outfit, and was ready to perform the next song. So like you have to learn how to bounce back.
Absolutely. So, my next question for you is what advice would you give to up and coming queer youth out here that are looking to get into filmmaking and producing?
Go for it. Don't let
Yeah,
nobody tell you that you're not good enough. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't do it. Don't let nobody tell you, oh, it's too expensive, because you can find ways to get filming done. A lot of people, there's a lot of movies that's on Tubi, and those movies is made off of the iPhone. You know what I'm saying? So like if you are a creative and you're watching this, please push forward with all of the aspirations and dreams that you have. Because, like I said, I am a walking testimony. I sat there in my living room and wrote out 8 pages of a show that turned out to be 7 episodes. It can happen. And with that, I connected with different people, just hitting them up on Instagram and DMing them, and it can happen. You can get put in programs. You can get put in different rooms that you would never believe that you would get put in. All you have to do is speak. Just speak up, because a closed mouth don't get fed. All you have to do is speak up and say, "I need help." It's okay. It's okay to ask for help, because that help can really be your ticket to get you somewhere else. So don't be scared. Don't be scared at all. Take that risk and try and push yourself to your to your better self. Push yourself to your future self. You know, create a vision board or mood board. Creating sticky notes or on your wall or anything like that. But do it, because you're gonna sit there and regret that you didn't do it when you wanted to do it. Just try it out and do it, because you just never know.
and you've mentioned vision board. I create vision boards and I'm looking at mine across the room right now and I have little sticky notes on it. So the key trick is to create, plan, and outline your vision and what you want for yourself in the future, which brings me to my next question for you. You've got your show that is coming out. You're working with Glad. Click is going to be coming out pretty soon.
Yeah.
February, you said February 22nd. So, what's next for you? What else are you envisioning in the year of 2024 for yourself?
So for 2024, like I mentioned, me and my business partner, our streaming network will be coming out. I'm gonna be pushing out more episodes of Click through that platform. I'm also about to start. I'm doing castings for 2 reality shows. I'm also doing a project with the Ballroom Scene. That's gonna be like a reality show docu series. So there's different projects that I have like aligning up. I'm gonna start reaching out to different podcasters to have their shows on my network and everything like that, so it can build a bigger platform for everyone, in
Yeah.
every department that you're into. Like I'm into many different things. I'm about to I'm already connecting with different people that's into fitness, so that like people that is LGBTQ, or just a regular person that is in their home and they want to work out in the comfort of their home. You can go to my network and you can be
Yeah.
able to watch fitness videos like that. If you are LGBTQ and you feel like you're not comfortable with working out around other people, maybe you may feel like they would judge you or anything like that. Just go on the network and watch a couple of fitness videos that will be updated all the time, and work out in your own home. Like there's different things I'm going to be touching base on and pushing out this year. So everybody just get ready.
And what I love that you're doing is that you're inclusive as well too. You're including everybody that
Yes,
is within the community. You're touching bases on everything, and that is so important.
yes.
So I can't wait to see what is in the future.
Thank
So
you.
congratulations to
Thank
you,
you.
my love. I'm so proud of
Congratulations to you with your show, and pushing forward and keeping it up and going and stuff like that. Like we need more trans women that's coming up with podcasts and connecting with people and showcasing their work, because one, we keep the conversation going,
you. Yes.
and we keep and we come with the humor and everything, and more people need to see that. So congratulations to you being so brave and honest with your work and your platform and bringing me onto your platform as well. I truly appreciate it.
Absolutely. So that's what he has in the future coming up, Fashion Dolls. We're going to have some fun here with Ish. And I do this with all of my guests. So we have two games here. And you guys also in the audience at home that are watching can find out a little bit about me through Ish's questioning. All right. So we're going to do something called the Rapid Five. And Ish has to tell me five things that he can't live without. It can be his favorite drink, his favorite food, his guilty pleasure TV show he likes to watch, whatever it is. And then the next one, we're going to do something called Turn the Tables. So my guests get to ask me as many questions as they want to. It can be on anything relating to fashion, beauty, life, gold, whatever the person wants to know. And this is the way for my new viewers out here to get to know a little bit about me. All right. So I'm
Okay.
going to pass it on down to Ish. And Ish has to tell me five things that he can't live without.
Okay, five things. My phone, my
Okay.
laptop, my family, um, filming, like TV shows, movies, like anything film related. I can't live without it. Like I have to watch it. It keeps my creativity going. And number five, ooh, that's one thing. Anybody that's watching and know me, they know I love to eat. So if there's ain't no food, I'm flipping tables like Medea. So yes, those are my five.
All right, fashion dolls. There you go. All right, here we go. It is time to turn those tables. So I'm going to pass it on down to Ish here, and Ish is going to ask me some questions. And for those of you out there that are wondering, you'll get to know a little bit about me through the question. All right, take it away, Ish.
Okay, so with the tables. Oh, shout out to my best friend. She's like, you sure do love you some food. um, turning the tables. What was the question again for turning the tables?
You get to ask me as many as you want. It can be on fashion, beauty,
Um,
life, gold, family, food, whatever you want to know.
what made you want to start your podcast?
What made me want to start Style by Stevie was I noticed that there was the lack of representation of Black trans women out here. The first to ever do it, I would say, is our girl T.S. Madison. She was the first to do it. And after watching her, that's where I got the courage and the inspiration to come out and start my thing. Because I started right after high school. Madison has been doing it way longer than me. I started in 2014 with this
Hmm.
platform. It wasn't originally called Style by Stevie. It was called Weekday Topics. We would do it every day at 11 o'clock on Facebook. And we just go over celebrity pop culture, and I would give my take on things. But I said, no, it's got to have a name. It's got to be catchy. So
Hmm.
Style by Stevie, right there, just randomly sitting in my room one day, and Style by Stevie came to mind because I said, I know people like fashion, I know people like music,
Right.
I know people like acting. All of these things create a platform that people will love. So, Style by Stevie. That's how
I
it
love
came to
that.
me. Yeah.
I love that. And what's your favorite food?
My guilty pleasure, because I know you guys see the fashions and things, and you're like, how does she stay?
Yes, what's your
Pepperoni.
top five that you can't live without? How about that?
Okay, my top five I can't live without. Okay, God and family, first and
Yes.
foremost. That's number one.
Amen.
My mom is my
Amen.
biggest inspiration. You guys call me queen, but that is the queen. She
Amen.
raised a queen. Uh,
Amen.
Number two, uh, my guilty pleasure, which comes back on tonight, Pandora's Box. So, so make sure you guys go and check that out. Subscribe to Pandora's Box on YouTube. Hopefully, she'll be back tonight. Number three, ooh, pepperoni
Mm,
pizza. I can't live with.
I love
I love pepperoni pizza, especially with stuffed crust. That is my guilty pleasure.
it. Ooh.
Number four. Uh, ooh, I love perfume. My favorite perfume. Everywhere I go, I have to smell good. So as of right now, my favorite go-to scent is Alien Goddess from Mugler. So yeah.
Mm.
And number five, I would have to say a good book. I love to read. I'm always in a book. You guys can call me a bookworm, a nerd. I'm always in a magazine or a book. So
Mhm.
that's my top five.
I love that. I love that. My one thing that people don't know is well, people that's close to me know is like I love comics. So like you loving to read, I love to read too. I love comics. If there's anything between Marvel and DC, like I'm very head into it, especially X-Men. I like collect them and I create like pictures out of them and stuff like that. And so yeah, I love that. Like reading is very fun. Whether you gotta read a book or you're reading somebody, reading is fundamental. So yes, I love that so much. I love that. Um, what else? One more question. I wanna. Um, what what does fashion mean to you,
What
and how did it change
is fashion?
your life?
Mm. How fashion changed my life for me is like escapism. Artists
Mm-hmm.
do surrealism, and there's so many forms of art. For me, fashion is art, and it's about bringing your dream to reality. And for me, fashion is about freedom of expression. Be free to be as creative and as bold as you want to be. Be as daring as you want to be. There are no limits. Like, I live my life on no limitation. I go by my gusto and my gut instinct. And the way to do it is to push the envelope. So
Mm-hmm.
fashion for being daring, being bold, being when I love loud, I love bright colors. Hence why I
Yeah.
went for purple this season. The previous season it was more so monochromatic. This season I said I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling joy.
Yes.
Fashion is a way to speak without even saying. You could walk into the room and your outfit can do the talking for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like the dress that I'm wearing today. You guys see me over here adjusting. So um it's about attitude.
Yeah.
Fashion is about attitude. Owning
Yeah.
the room when you walk into and not even having to say the word. That piece that you're wearing is the masterpiece. So that's what fashion means to me.
I love that. I love that. Oh, I love
And
that.
we've got some questions in the comments. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Spark
That's my
Stokes
aunt.
says, Spark Stokes says, try Wisteria Blue by Ness. I definitely will. And I see you, Nate. Oops, not somebody reading so much. Um, my favorite designer, my favorite fashion designer. I would have to say, oh, it's so many. It's so many out here. But the one that tops the cake and his work was just impeccable was Terry Mugler. May he rest in grace. It's if you go back in time and you look at Laverne Cox's channel, you see she posts highlights of some of his fashion shows. Like she has a whole archive of Terry Mugler's pieces. And his pieces are so innovative. Like he's done everything from vampires to Latin sex. Like he makes a dream come to reality. So Terry Mugler is one of my favorites. I could say Valentino. I could say Oscar de la Renta. Um, who does my makeup? Melanie Nalamai Bridges and myself. We always come up with the looks for every interview, every episode. And I'm very particular about, okay, which look should go with which outfit. Like yesterday we did the purple hair and that was very Beyonce in one lane. I like to step out. You're not gonna see me in one facet of my life. You're gonna see me transform and do different looks, and you be like, okay, she's got black hair today. One day her hair is brown, the next day her hair is green, the next yesterday it was purple. And that shocked people because I haven't done color hair in a while. It was very dark. The previous season it was very dark.
I
Yes,
love that.
thank you.
I love that.
Thank
I like it. Yes, I had to come back inside with my girl because my phone was dying.
you.
It's
Uh
a little loud.
oh. I hope you guys are enjoying the conversation.
Yes, because
Uh,
I'm enjoying it. We got to do a part two too.
definitely. Definitely. And I gotta bring I'm gonna bring you back on for the spring. I got to bring you
Yes,
back for the spring.
I
Right
would
now
love to
it's
come.
cold weather, but I gotta have you
Yes,
back One for the spring.
And I would love that. I would love that. Definitely. Oh, I love you too, Auntie.
Hi, Auntie. You got family watching. My last question before we wrap up, because I know you said you're back. You got to get back to work. How do you feel to have family support you through all of your success and your journey at this point of your career? Because you've done so much throughout the past few years in your career. Again, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much. Like I said in the beginning, it's something to cherish and be grateful for because a lot of people don't have family. So for me, every time, even when I talk about my family, it makes me emotional. But I'm being strong right now. But but like without my family, I don't know what I would do. I don't know if I would even have the encouragement and the inspiration and just the motivation to do half of the stuff that I do because all they do is support. Like I know my mom's probably at work right now on her way home from work and she's going to live. My best friend, excuse me, I've seen a couple of my friends jumping in and watching my business partner. So like just stuff like that means a lot to me. And to have that, I'm just grateful for. I'm just grateful and always grateful and humble. And it always humbles me even more that you got people supporting you stuff like that. So there's no point of walking around with a mean face or a nasty attitude because you're being blessed and not everybody is walking in the same shoes that you're walking. So be grateful because it can get taken away. It get forgotten about quickly, but through the grace of God and through the support of my family, I keep that mentioned in that family, and I really appreciate and love my family, like, to the death of me. And like I said, without them, I wouldn't know what to do. Most of my family is women, too, on top of it. So, like, I grew up around nothing but a whole bunch of strong, independent black women, and just seeing them and seeing what they do and what they've done. I go very, very hard for my black women, for all of you, because it's hard. It's hard as a black man, but it's also harder as a black woman. So that's why I give a lot of grace and love to you guys because you guys, y'all put up with way more than what we do. So without them, like I said, I wouldn't know where I'd be at.
There you have it, National Balls. And I'm trying not to get emotional. You see my eyes kind of
Yeah,
twitch. I'm trying not to
I
over
know me
here.
too. Me too.
Okay. Woo. All right. 2024. What piece of advice would you give to LGBTQ youth on discovering themselves and coming into their own? Because I know it can be difficult.
Mhm. Be you. Don't be afraid to. People is going to have side comments. They're going to judge, but take that and put that as a piece added to your armor.
Yeah.
You know, every negative comment that you hear, every negative remark that you get, add that to your shoulder pad, add that to your knee pad, add that to your chest plate. You know what I'm saying? Like build your armor around yourself so that you're so strong that nothing can touch you. Go for your dreams and your goals because there's a lot of resources and platforms and people that are looking to help. You just gotta, everybody gotta meet each other in the middle. So you gotta put in that work so that the other people can put in the work as well. So that once y'all meet to the middle, y'all go up. And that's what everybody, that's my advice to everybody to keep on doing, keep moving forward. Don't worry about what anybody got to say about you. Keep doing what you got to do and love yourself first. Also, love yourself and love God. Because without self love, many different things can happen. And sometimes it feels good to hug yourself as well. Of course, it's good to get hugs from people, but try hugging yourself sometimes because that hug is something special. So keep going for your dreams and keeping that passion going.
And your aunt says, follow your passion and don't
Yeah.
mind the haters. Just follow your bliss. Life is for experience.
Yes.
today's that kind of ties into today's final thought too, which comes from Francesca Ramsey. She says, no matter where life takes you, there will always be someone that is threatened by it. Live life to the fullest and live life on your own terms. You're going to have people who are going to try to block you and put obstacles in your way to your next destination of greatness. But the key trick is to keep going, keep persevering, and just disregard them. The people that are not supporting you, that don't deserve to be in your life, they don't deserve to be there. Keep going forward. You don't need them.
Yes.
Leave them
Yeah.
right there where you're at. If they're
Yeah.
not supporting you or your vision or your journey and where you're going at your point in that point in your life, leave those people back. They're not doing
Yeah.
you. They are a burden to you and your
Yeah.
great. So keep
Yep.
going. And that's the
Thank
final
you, and I truly
thought
appreciate
of the
it.
day.
I appreciate that. I'm taking all of that, and like my aunt said, life is for experience, but your eyes and your mouth is for your testimony.
Yeah.
And always keep that in mind. Life is for the experience, but your eyes and your mouth is for the testimony, for you to tell and talk about what you've been through that can help somebody else. So remember that, viewers. Always remember that. And hug. That's my favorite thing to tell people. Hug yourself. Hug yourself.
Self love begins within. So every morning you get up in the mirror, you talked about prayer and talking to God in
Mhm.
the middle part of our interview.
Mhm.
Every morning I get up, I do a prayer and I do my morning affirmations. One of the
Mhm.
affirmations, I'm capable of handling everything that comes my way, no matter how big, no matter how small. That's one of my affirmations. So every morning you get up and you look in that mirror and you say those affirmations over and over again to yourself, give yourself a hug, give yourself reassurance. I took
Mhm.
lipstick and I wrote believe in my mirror and it's still there. Every morning when I get up, I look at it and it says believe. I didn't erase it or anything. So
Mhm.
write little reminders to yourself to keep yourself in tune with yourself and love with yourself. And that
And even every morning when you read that believe, hug yourself after you read that. I
yes,
guarantee you, you'll be like, oh, I feel good. Oh, I feel
absolutely.
good. Right.
Well, fashion dolls, we're now at the end of the road. So Ish, where can everyone follow you and check you out?
Everybody can follow me here on Instagram. That's double ISHO double N. There's nobody with the same name as me on Instagram, so it's very easy to find me. Or you can type in Ish Brown on Instagram and you'll find me. I have links of my clips of my show on there. In my bio is the link to my YouTube page for my network. And then later down the line of this year, hopefully next month or the month after that, I will be premiering me and my partner's network, streaming network. So look out for that as well. And just keep looking, just keep keep checking up on my Instagram. I'm always posting stuff and all that, and I'm very comical, so you always see me like posting random stuff. So yeah, that's what everybody can check me out.
There you have it, fashion dolls. Click February 22nd. Make sure you guys tune in and check it out. And I love you too, Auntie. Your aunt says, thank you so much, Stevie. We love you. And I love y'all too. It's such
Yeah,
a pleasure meeting
love
you.
you,
And I've
Stevie,
got to
so
bring you
much.
back for the spring.
Yeah,
So I'm going to
yeah,
send you those dates.
yeah,
Now,
definitely. I
that,
gotta try to get you out here. I gotta try to get you out here to LA. We could do an in-person video together. You know, something.
yes,
We're gonna set it up. We're gonna set it up.
for sure.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
Now, I had such a great time today, Fashion Dolls, and it was such a pleasure meeting you, and I'm so proud of
Such a
you.
pleasure
So
talking to you too.
keep doing what you're doing, and I'm gonna bring you back
Yeah,
again,
you
this
keep doing
time
what
in
you're
the
doing
springtime.
too. Don't stop either. Don't stop either. Keep doing what you're doing too. Because this is something that is needed.
Absolutely. Now, no show tomorrow, you guys, but Monday we will be back. Collins will be joining me. So make sure you guys stay tuned. I love you all. And remember, like Ish said, love yourself. Self love begins within and it starts at home. So every morning you get up, you pray and talk to God. And more importantly, do those affirmations. Stay true
Mhm.
to yourself. And I love y'all, Fashion Dog.
Love y'all.
Take care, everyone.
For sure.